Thank you and welcome to the show for today. I am host Alana McLaughlin and you are watching Perspectives. This morning on the show I have Peso, Taxin, Slab, Corduroy, Clemens, and Black Wizzle of 6-1 Tribe here to discuss hip-hop collectives in Nashville. They're here to discuss their backgrounds, their educations, their careers, and ultimately the impact that they seek to leave collectively on Nashville communities. And guys, I just want to thank you all for coming. And we're going to spend about this first segment talking about baby years. Okay. So now, Jason, I'm going to start with you. I want you to introduce yourself, tell me your name, your stage name, and kind of just a quick rundown of what life looked like for you as a child.
Okay, my name is Jason. My mom named me that. My stage name is Slab, also known as the Players Coach. My early years, I'm from out east Nashville, Delaware, Inglewood. My early years was with my mama. My early years, me and her, she was basically a single mama her whole life, and it was just me and her learning and navigating like I think everybody else does, just trying to figure it out and try to understand her dynamic of being a parent and me being her son. But it was a lot of love, a lot of neighborhood activities and stuff like that. You know, just being growing up in the hood. It was full. It was full. That's what it was.
And I like that description, full.
Yeah.
And Peso, kind of tell me that same kind of upbringing.
I will. Real name's Robert, stage name Peso Taxin, and from out east as well, right off South 14th. And grew up in the house with my grandmother and my mother. And just, you know, oldest of 5 kids over there. Same, just growing up. Fun.
Now, Corduroy, I need more than just growing up. Tell me about that early childhood for you.
Well, I grew up in Clarksville. I was born in Virginia, but Dad was in the military, so we stayed in Clarksville. Real cool area, real diverse. Got to see a lot of different things, traveled a little bit, so that was a little bit of my upbringing, so I got a real diverse background and stuff.
We're going to come back on that transition from Clarksville to Nashville because you were a transplant, and I want to hear about that. And Wizzle, tell me that same upbringing.
My name is William J. Hockett II. I go by Black Wizzle professionally. Born and raised in Nashville, north, south, east, west Nashville. I spent a little time in Oklahoma where I first got a chance to play music with my grandpa. He made me play the drums. I was like 5 years old. I decided I was gonna be a artist when I was like 8. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but once I found out you could be from Tennessee and be a rapper, I said that's what I was going to do.
And y'all, I want to talk about just some of the hobbies and some of the faith backgrounds that you all may have experienced or been into as an early child. Jason, I'm going to start with you again. Tell me what that church life looked like as a child.
When I was real younger, cause my mom worked so much, we couldn't get into church as much as we wanted to. But I started writing poetry when I was 8. So I was writing poetry as a youth, and then around like 15, you know, I was seeing like a lot of my peers pass away through, you know, violence and all that type of stuff. So we tried to get in church a little bit. I was in the choir for like a year. You know what I mean? I got a little bravado. You know what I mean? Got a little bit. And that transition of just understanding the bigger purpose, bigger than myself, is what I think helped me to become the kind of artist and I guess CEO or whatever like that I could be now, as far as community and stuff like that. I'm really big into what people are. And I think that early childhood of writing poetry, kicking with my mama in my neighborhood, and just seeing a full scope of human evolution and people helped me out tremendously.
Peso, would you say you had a similar kind of church experience, or?
Honestly, we didn't do church too much as a kid, but as he was saying, like with poetry, the first thing I started off doing, I was writing like storybooks. I don't know why I was writing like full chapter books, drawing pictures. That kind of transition to poetry, and then like 5th grade year, I just started making music. I don't know.
I love when y'all just like, I just did this thing. Like, I just practiced my art. Like everybody can just do this. Corduroy, tell me that same faith background. I'm going to tease y'all the whole time. Y'all are talented. And y'all are humble. And I like seeing y'all kind of relax a little bit. Corduroy, tell me that faith background.
My father's actually a preacher, a pastor.
Really?
So I grew up like kind of in the church, but he did more of like just fellowships things. So we did a lot of stuff in home or in different people's houses and stuff like that.
Man, you had all walks of life. You had military, the church background. I said, boy, I need to get with your family. Wizzle, tell me that same faith background. That's how we're going to end this first segment.
Again, back to my grandfather's church in Oklahoma. He didn't have a lot of people. In fact, nobody came except for like my grandma and like my mom and my aunt and me and like my cousins and stuff. And they used to make me sing. And it was cool when it was just us.
Yeah.
And then we went to another church, a larger church, and we had to sing again. And I just couldn't do it. It was too deep in there. It was too many people in there.
And I think that's funny because now y'all are all performers. I just saw you perform like 2 weeks ago, and shyness was like nowhere in the equation. So we're going to talk about the establishment of just that musicianship and just the experiences that you all have had and want to share with Nashville communities. And I encourage our viewers to tune into the second segment of Perspectives, where I will return with 6-1 Tribe to discuss hip-hop collectives in Nashville. Second segment of the show for today. I am host Alana McLaughlin, and you are watching Perspectives. This morning on the show, I have Slab, Peso, Taxin, Corduroy, Clemens, and Black Wizzle of 6-1 Tribe here to discuss their backgrounds, their careers, their educations, and ultimately the impact that they seek to leave on Tennessee communities through this hip-hop collective. In our first segment, we set up my guests' backgrounds. We talked about early life, and now I want to talk about the establishment of their individual musical careers. And Jason, I want to start with you. I know you go by Slab, so I'll refer to you as G from here on out.
It's cool. My mom I like my name.
Tell me about just establishing. I know you started off writing poetry, and tell me how that kind of transformed into music.
My grandmama was a songwriter back in the day, real, in the 50s and stuff like that. And once I got like the notes of her songs and stuff like that, it just let me know, okay, cool. I didn't know a lot of singers in my family or people who was artistic in my family. That kind of opened my mind up a little bit. And I wrote my first record when I was 14. Did talent shows in my high school and all that type of stuff, and started making real music for real. I say about in my early 20s. I had a project called Man Before Rapper, and it kind of opened the door for everything else, and that's what kind of led me to doing stuff in Vibe magazines and doing shows outside the city, and just understanding that you can't put on for your city. You're always in your city, so you have to travel out and do stuff like that, and that's what kind of started me. And I took hiatus. I had to figure life out. You know what I mean? I had a kid, and stuff like that. And once we started the collective, it was for that, to bring something that we didn't have at first.
Peso, that same, I need you to set it up just like that. I need the guts of it. Tell me about the establishment of that artistry.
Honestly, I started writing music my 5th grade year. I was about 10. And that's because around that time, it was a song on the radio about DJ Yola, that I Ain't Gonna Give Up. Yeah, I heard that every day going to school. My mom's, she had a UGK CD that was stuck in the CD player. So I always used to listen to Players Anthem and just listen to that. And then I feel like that was the same time around Lil Wayne. He started doing his little run in 2008.
Oh, you're aging yourself right now.
Yeah, I know. But as I started listening, because I wasn't that big of a Wayne fan, but once I just seen that run he was going on, I started actually listening to Metaphors. I was like, I feel like I could do this. First thing I wrote was a hook, and I thought it was a full song, and I had a friend come up to me. His name was Michael Parham. He was like, bro, that's just a chord. The verse to it. I kind of practiced from there, and like he said, I didn't really start doing music seriously till I was about 20, 21. My first time recording, I was about 14. And that was out north with this guy named Nate Groovy. Shout out Nate Groovy. But if it wasn't for him, I honestly probably would have never had the courage to get in front of a mic. I did my first song straight through, no breaks, no punch-ins. He pressed pause, he looked at me, he was like, you got it. So I just kind of kept going from there.
And I want you to take me through life from 14 to kind of those early 20s when you began rapping. Tell me just some of the experiences that you had that shaped you and shaped the artist that you are.
So my pops used to rap back when I was younger. So he kind of did that. He from out South 8. I always used to come up around Quanti Cash and them. I was actually in Loyalty and Respect. I was in the movie too. What? Yeah. But that kind of, I've always been around it. So I just kind of decided I can try to do it. Because I never thought I would. I've always wrote though. I've always wanted to be a writer. I always, in class, during writing classes, you used to have like a little essay you gotta do. They score you 1 to 6. I always got a 6 because I've just been good at writing. And it just kind of transitioned to music. Music always been around.
And this is an open question. I'm gonna pick on both of y'all. Y'all ain't safe. But an open question I want to ask, what did you all believe that you would be working as or doing in life if not music? Jason, just a quick little, what did you see yourself as if not?
I don't think I had to, when I was that young, I don't think I saw past my next week. Beyond me on some real stuff. Like I didn't see past my neighborhood as much. I mean, I always had, I think, a wisdom to myself, but without experiences and what you kind of see on a day-to-day basis, I don't think I even knew what I wanted. I knew I needed to do something beyond what I did, and what helped me was RP, my boy Money Miles. That was the first studio I ever been in, and you know, that encouragement, that affirmation, like, hey bro, you really nice. Like, not nice like you nice locally, but you could really do something beyond this with how you rap and how you kind of approach music. And those were some of the first things that started me into like, you know what, this can go beyond what I think it could be.
Peso, did you think you were going to be a scientist? What did you think?
The first thing I said I wanted to do was be a lawyer, because I like to argue.
You do.
I like to argue.
Yeah.
We all need that friend.
Yeah, I can argue all day, it's cool. After that, I was like, I'll be a teacher if all else fails. Yeah.
If all else fails,
Yeah, if
that's
all else
terrible. Now, Corduroy and Wizzle, we're going to end this segment just talking about the establishment of these careers. Corduroy, I want to start with you. Tell me about yours. I know I see you getting excited. Tell me about it, that establishment into that artistry.
I had a little later start. I was more just a fan, and then I used to write poetry and stuff in school and try to do like songwriting and stuff, so I wanted to do more just background. But I ended up going to the studio. My boy IR Skills back in Clarksville, he got me in the studio with a few friends and stuff, and we just got the feel of it, and I liked it. It was cool, and my verse was actually good, so they was like, man, you should do this more often. So it kind of just developed into what you see now.
And how old were you at that point?
I was probably about 20, 22. So yeah, it was
And what were
early
you doing
20s.
before that?
Before that, playing basketball.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Were you nice?
Oh, yeah, I was decent.
That's what they all say.
I was decent.
And Wizzle, to close out the second segment, tell me about the establishment of that artistry. And I know that you have that church background, that family background, and tell me how you kind of put all that together and started that career, this career.
I say it was about 2015 where I had tried like the rap groups and really wanted to push myself as a rapper, but I decided I had more to offer talent-wise. So I said, I need to use my gifts that God gave me. So that made me change up my music completely.
I need more. Tell me, what did you sound like before? What did you change it into? I'm telling you, I need the guts of it.
At first, it was more like your typical negative. I always knew I had a dope flow, but I had to sing on my songs. I had to make my own music. I had to rap about, I had to talk about love and talk about, because I felt like black people didn't love themselves. So I'm like, I got to make some music to kind of combat everything else that's going to make us look at ourselves through like a muddied lens. So definitely when you hear my music, I want you to internalize it and understand like this is like medicine. I taught myself how to play guitar, like, yeah.
And something that I love about the four of y'all is that kind of a resounding theme that I'm hearing with you guys is that you all want to give back to the community that built you all up.
Yeah,
you all want
sure.
to put back in. And honestly, we're missing a lot of those mentors, especially present day. We're missing a lot of those connections, I'd say, since COVID.
Yeah.
I think that ruined a lot of like interpersonal,
How people interact with each other, yeah, for sure.
And I think that it's really awesome that you guys have these events and these ways that the community can come back together. And we're going to pick back up on that in our final segment, talking about all the awesomeness that encompasses 6-1 Tribe. And I encourage our viewers to tune into the final segment of Perspectives, where we will return to discuss 6-1 Tribe, hip-hop collectives in Nashville, and the impact that these guys seek to leave on our local community. Welcome to the final segment of the show for today. I am host Alana McLaughlin. You are watching Perspectives. This morning has been an interesting episode. I've had members of 6-1 Tribe. I've had Slab, Corduroy, Clemens, Wizzle, and Peso Taxin here discussing their careers, the impact that they seek to leave on Nashville, both individually and as a collective, and just ways that we can support them. In our first two segments, we just discussed the early beginnings of these four individuals' artistry. We talked about just some of the early musical inspirations and experiences that they had, and ultimately in this last segment, we're going to talk about 6-1 Tribe. We're going to talk about what this collective is. We're going to talk about the establishment of it, some of the recent awards and accolades that they've received here in town, and ways that our viewers and we as a city can support this group. Jason, what is 6-1 Tribe? Well, actually, before that,
Okay.
what is a hip-hop collective?
It's a mix of group work and supportive individualism. So we have a collective, we're 6-1 Tribe, and we do albums, projects together where it's multiple members, we're all doing records, and also when it's time for them to do their solo stuff, they still can record in the studio for free, they can still get support from what we do through the collective, through all the other resources we have. So it's a one-stop shop. We have videographers, we have engineers, producers, rappers, singers, getting marketing people coming up. Like we want it to be a one-stop shop to show people a new way to be a collective or production company in the biggest sense.
So this sounds amazing, but as an artist, I would be so confused. I'm like, man, like why do these people want me? What benefit could I add to this group?
It was open house policy at first. Me and my business partner, shout out to Aaron Deathridge, who can't be here today. We just called people. I just called people. Like, I just called him, I called Wizzle, Peso was introduced from somebody else, and we just said, hey, come, we doing sessions, and we trying to do an album, because it originally started as a relief for the tornado. Wow. And then COVID hit a week after.
Wow.
And it shut us down in the beginning part, but it's the blessing in disguise, because without that, we couldn't have formed other relationships like singular, where you could invite one person over at a time and get to know each other in that sense. That we had fellowship.
We got a lot closer.
Yeah, we got closer. We do fellowship. We actually doing a cookout movie night in November. Like we are friends and family for real at this point. We argue. we we wake up. It's that type of thing, because the biggest thing is nobody's ego is bigger than the mission. And it's always been kind of the thing we established. Like, you can be a solo artist. I expect you to be selfish. I expect you to have no moments of wanting to be your solo thing, but you understand that this is a benefit for everything, and it keeps putting the plateau. When you say, I'm part of 6-1 Tribe now, it just, I be seeing y'all, and that helps the cachet of who you are. And then I'm Peso Taxin. Oh, I know Peso Taxin out of 6-1 Tribe. I know Corduroy Clemens out of 6-1 Tribe, Black Wizzle, and so on and so forth. And it just helps that whole dynamic to be spread out. You know what I mean, they call us the Wu-Tang of the South. They call us the new Rockefeller. We the new Dipset, whatever you want to give. And so everybody's their own solo artist, but when we come together, it's Tribe.
So this reminds me of like Young Money.
Yeah, that was a little bit of inspiration. For my business partner, his was Wu-Tang and Dreamville. And Dreamville, that's where Aaron went to a Dreamville concert, and he kind of just saw what he saw. And I was already kind of working on these type of stuff, and we kind of got in tune.
That's when the documentary
came out. And then we we did a lot. I started thinking about it.
Jason, I want you to get some information about the members of 6-1 Tribe while I talk to Peso about just his involvement within the group. How did you get mixed up with these cats?
Honestly, like he said, COVID was a blessing for reasons of, I became a videographer in 2020.
Okay.
So I couldn't work, and I still wanted to put out content.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't afford no videographer. So I got my daughter to shoot some stuff on the phone. I edited it, and then after that, I just kept going. So I shot for like a year, and I want to say I met Tribe around like 2021. I came in, shot a music video for Whole Lotta. Then I shot another video and another video.
He was in the cut. This is what happened for real. This is what really happened. He's talking a nice way.
Okay.
So he came in, we were looking for videographers. Everything he said is right. He shot a video we had called Whole Lotta, and then he shot another. He was playing some music. I said, who is that rapping?
Okay.
He was like, that's me. If you don't get in the booth, like, if you don't get so, what I encourage, we can do both.
Yeah.
We'll find a way where you can still be a videographer for the team and get your artistry out, because that's important to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I don't want people to just feel like this. You a service to this. I want to know that you're important. What you want out of this is important to us as well.
Just tell me some of the members that are involved in 6-1 Tribe. And while you pull up,
that's right here. I got the list right here.
Okay, you got the list.
I got the list right here. And I'm just gonna go.
Just run it down.
I'm gonna run it down. Rio Tokyo, artist. Black Wizzle, Quay, artist, producer, engineer. Andre Wolf, artist, producer, instrumentalist. He plays instruments as well, like 3 or 4 instruments. Real Stepson, new father, shout out to my boy. Namir Blade, everything.
Yeah.
Namir does everything.
Yeah.
Ronnie Rax, the first lady, only girl in the group. Shout out to Ronnie Rax.
Yeah.
She got a project album coming out soon.
Yeah.
HB Mandela, my boy. Most freest spirit ever. Evan Gray, artist, and he's our fashion designer. So he does fashion. He does, like literally, he just did National Fashion Week and had and he did Alabama, I think, or something like that. Fashion Week too. 30 Sales, Enigma. That's my boy for real. Negro Justice, a rapper's rapper. If you love hip hop, you're gonna love Negro Justice. Corduroy Clemens, obviously. Intellect. No, but talent-wise, he's one of like he's gonna be the secret gem that you're gonna love every time you hear him. Trip God for real, artist, producer, singer, engineer. Like he does everything as well. Cashmere Crew, artist, like real vibes. Peso Taxin, videographer, artist, everything. He engineers stuff now too. Mac, videographer, artist. His little brother. Shout out Walk Hard Mac. Aaron Deathridge, engineer and part owner of the production company that me and him both own together. Myself. Fresh, which is DJ, our official DJ, and he also does like videographer stuff as well behind the scenes. Shout out Miranda. We talking about the documentary. She shot 85% of the documentary that we shot. Videographer does creative stuff right there. And last but not least, Todd and Nona of Eastside Manor Studios. I just gotta say thank you if I say their name, because without the home base that we have at Eastside Manor Studios, it probably be no Tribe. It'd be no Tribe. It's break in Eagles.
And everybody we just named, all of y'all that just came together, established 615 Day. And I want you to tell me about that and just tell me about the experience with that. And we're gonna spend our last few minutes in the segment talking about that and talking about ways that the community can support with you for.
It was needed. We needed something to represent Nashville and the greater for the underrepresented communities and stuff like that. So it's been an idea for mine for years. And then the team, they just like, bro, whatever you want to do, bro. Like, and then they was supportive of it. So we got Brian Brown on there, Sweet Poison Music came out, Mimi the Goat came out, R.I.P. to Sonny D. Sonny D came out, R.I.P. to Sonny D. DJ Chill came and did. Off tour with Jelly Roll just came in. I called him, I need you, bro. He said, boom, that's my boy. Like, I appreciate it. The Basement East is a collective. Shout out to Gil, the booker that let us get there.
Didn't the mayor come?
The mayor wrote a proclamation. He was on my phone at the night. Said, I'm getting in too late to come in, but we're talking for 2025 already. So we're already getting that together. Shout out to Ham. Shout out to Cruise Control, Our Legacy, Guidance Whiskey. It was a full community event.
It was the Nashville Scenes.
Aviana Personality. WNXP. Oh yeah, and it was Nashville Scenes' best event of this year. I mean, we won best rap group last year, and then we did this event. And this is just a culmination of what we've been trying to do and put into Nashville.
In this last about minute of this segment, I want to just thank y'all for the work that y'all do individually and as a collective. This is amazing. And to hear about something like this in my city, I knew about y'all, but didn't know the depth of what you all do. And I have a newfound respect and love for the four of y'all and for the collective. Use this last about minute. I want you to go through, tell me social medias. Boom, 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 and boom.
G-Slab, you can follow me, GWESLAB, that's everywhere. G-Slab, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, G-Slab.
Peso Taxin, PESOTAXIN, that's Instagram, and then videographer, Red Eye Films, and Co.
Corduroy Clemens on everything. That's social media, streaming platforms, all that.
And Wizzle?
Black Wizzle on all platforms, Apple Music and all that. BLVCK. WIZZLEMCM.
And at 61 Tribe.
And 61 Tribe
for the collective.
And the collective is full 61 Tribe, SIXTRIB.
And to our viewers, thank you for just supporting me, for supporting these guys, and for supporting the young creatives out of Nashville. Thank you and good.